So, ladies and gentlemen, I will first like to rebut the points from the government side of the house. First of all, they stated that by defunding, it will actually affect the entire department, even though the police is innocent or doesn't do anything wrong. But ladies and gentlemen, these police officers have a brotherhood code. For example, my brother in my right and my brother in my left, together we stand and together we fight. That means that when someone is wrong in the police department, it is all because of the system's fault. It is not just because one fault. This also applies to their practice. When one of their friends did something wrong, all of them get punished, right? So we believe that it's okay to defund and affect the whole police department if one of the police officer did something wrong, because the other police officer is also failed to actually help guide that police officer to the right way. And then second of all, they stated that vigilantism of black matter is radical and etc. But we believe that it is okay, because at least this attracts the media. Without the vigilantism that happened, it doesn't actually, this motion actually won't even exist, right? Nobody will actually care about George Floyd. Nobody will actually care about Black Lives Matter. So at least there is progress in the status quo, because no media will actually cover George Floyd up if the society doesn't actually act up for Black Lives Matter and etc. And then thirdly, they stated that the society is insecure from the criminals itself. But we believe right now the status quo, the ones who is actually making the society insecure, is not the criminal, but it is the police officers itself. For example, because they actually the ones who do the brutality in the status quo right now. So, and we also believe that the government side of the house is too hyperbolizing the current status quo, where they said that, like for example, in the Bronx, in the New York, where there are very high criminal rates, and this can actually decrease the workload of the police officers itself. But we believe that in the status quo, there's only 382 out of 100,000 of violent crime that happened from 100,000 population. So we believe that is not that much between other countries, ladies and gentlemen. So now moving to my arguments. First of all, in the status quo right now, racism is a common thing in the United States of America. Even the ones who are affected by the racism itself is a police officer and the police department itself, right? So we can see that for example, we can see that the recent cases of police brutality towards colored people, towards racism to other people is, for example, George Floyd and Jacob Blake, where they actually killed both of those persons, even though they doesn't do anything wrong, even though they don't do any harm or etc. So our stance for today is that we want to stick with the status quo, and also to actually push for the defund, not actually push for the institutional reform, because we believe that defunding is better, and I will explain that in my arguments. So first of all, our goal is we want to minimize the tendency of police brutality towards the colored society or towards any kind of race there is in the United States, and also creating a safer environment for the society itself. And we also do agree with the problem brought by the government side of the house, which is that there is police brutality and police racism. But we believe that status quo is already progressive, because just like I said, so there's Black Lives Matter, and then all over the world is actually supporting Black Lives Matter because of the media. And then we also, but we don't agree, by the way, that the government side of the house is going to actually solve the status quo right now, and I will explain that in my argument. So moving to my argument, first of all, why is it not morally justified to push for institutional reform? First of all, we believe that it won't actually fix the problem at all. What will happen? It will increase the problem. Why do I say so? Because one of the mechanisms that the government side of the house said that they would like to increase diversity in police by making the way to get into the police department is depending on your race and etc. But we believe what will happen is not racism. Racism will still be there between the police officers and the society, but it will make matter worse. Why do I say so? Because what will happen is that there will be racism between the police officers, and why is this bad? It will actually, the police department is now will be divided, become the one race and then the other race, and this will also, and then this will also make the police work way more worse or less than the status quo right now, than by the funding it, ladies and gentlemen. So why, and it also, we also believe that it doesn't actually give deterrent effect to the post officers. Why do I say you need deterrent effect? Because first of all, if you have deterrent effect, the ones who are caught by this deterrent effect is actually the post officers, right? They will get the huge loss, a salary decrease, and etc. So what will happen? They will actually think twice of whether or not they should actually do racist abuse or do police brutality towards the criminal itself, ladies and gentlemen. So it will actually decrease the tendency, back to our goal, it will actually decrease the tendency of police brutality towards the colored society. And then moving to my second argument is that why is funding better, ladies and gentlemen? Why do I say funding is better? Because it will actually give the deterrent effect, just like what I said before, not by actually giving institutional reform. And just like I said before, the deterrent effect is needed because it will give you a salary, huge loss, and then decrease in salary, and then it will make the police officers think twice, right? And then the funding is also better because we believe that by the funding this, there will still be the funding that used to go to the post office, to the post department, goes to somewhere else, right? It will actually go, what the funding that we will actually give to the ones who are more needed, for example, healthcare organizations and etc. Why do we believe that this is a lot better? Because we believe that this will actually benefit the society, and we believe that it will actually benefit the society and also the minority races, ladies and gentlemen. So it will actually benefit two stakeholders, which is the society, and also decrease the tendency of police brutality. And then also by giving the criminals is usually poor or not jobless. That's why they do crime. That's why they steal money and etc. So by doing this, by giving to other fund, it will actually minimize the criminal rate. Why do I say so? Because by giving the fund to other, it will actually give more quality of life to the criminals or the ones who are potentially to be criminal. So it will actually it will actually minimize the criminal rate in the USA. So it will actually be back to our goal, which is, and then we believe that by that we will actually achieve our goal, which is actually to minimize the tendency of police brutality towards the colored society and also creating a safer environment. And that's why I'm very proud to oppose this motion. Thank you.